Once upon a time in a bustling city filled with noise and endless movement, there lived a 28-year-old woman named Elena. Elena was completely exhausted. Her mind never stopped working. From morning until night, her thoughts raced without pause, jumping from one worry to another, replaying conversations, planning everything ahead. These endless thoughts made her feel drained and burned out. She always felt pressure to do more, to think more, to solve everything at once. Because of this constant mental activity, her mind was like an engine that never turned off. She couldn't relax, couldn't enjoy quiet moments, and even forgot what it felt like to simply rest. One day, Elena heard about a peaceful retreat center deep in the countryside. People said that a wise woman lived there. That woman used to be a successful neurologist in the capital. She had helped countless people struggling with stress and mental exhaustion throughout her career and had taught them how to find rest for their minds. Now she was retired. She left the demanding world of medicine and started living in a simple cottage surrounded by silence and nature. Occasionally she guided visitors seeking mental peace. Elena became intrigued and desperate. She decided that she must go and meet that wise woman. She thought, maybe she can teach me how to finally let my mind rest. After a few hours of driving away from the city, Elena reached the retreat center in the countryside. When she arrived, she saw a peaceful cottage with a garden full of wildflowers. Near the garden, the wise woman was sitting on a wooden bench. Her eyes were looking at the sky and she seemed completely at ease. Elena walked up to her and said softly, "Ma'am, my mind never stops. I'm always thinking, always planning, always worrying. I'm so tired. I need to learn how to let my mind rest. Can you help me?" The wise woman slowly turned to her and gave a gentle smile. She said, "So, you want your mind to rest? Then come with me. I will give you a simple task." She took Elena to a quiet room with a single cushion on the floor. Then she handed Elena a small hourglass filled with fine sand. The sand would take exactly 5 minutes to flow from top to bottom. She gave the hourglass to Elena and said, "Sit here and watch the sand fall. Watch every grain as it drops. But remember, you must not think about anything else. Just watch the sand." Elena looked at her with confusion, but she wanted to try her best, so she accepted the challenge. She sat down carefully and turned the hourglass over. At first, her mind wandered immediately. She thought about work deadlines, she worried about her emails, she planned her evening. But then she remembered the instruction. She brought her attention back to the sand. Grain by grain, she watched it fall. The room was silent. Outside, birds were singing and wind was moving through trees. But Elena didn't think about them. Her focus stayed only on the falling sand. Minutes passed slowly. Her racing thoughts began to quiet down. People walking by the room noticed her sitting peacefully. They knew she was learning something precious. Finally, the last grain of sand fell. Elena looked up at the wise woman and said, "I did it. I watched the sand without thinking about anything else." The wise woman nodded and smiled warmly. Then she asked, "That's wonderful, but tell me, during those 5 minutes, did you worry about your work? Did you plan your tomorrow?" Elena paused and said, "No, I didn't worry or plan anything. I was only watching the sand." The wise woman smiled again and said gently, "That is the secret. Something your mind already knows how to do, but you forgot. When you give your mind a simple thing to focus on, it naturally rests from everything else. You were only watching the sand fall. At that time, your mind stopped running. You were not pressuring yourself about what needs to be done. You were not exhausting yourself with endless planning. Your mind was finally resting." Slowly, Elena began to understand. This was the rest she had been desperately searching for. Rest is not about doing nothing. Rest is about giving the mind permission to focus on just one simple thing at a time. Elena closed her eyes briefly and said softly, "Ma'am, now I understand. If I want to let my mind rest, I must give it moments of simple focus. That is when true rest happens." The wise woman smiled once more. The afternoon sun was glowing through the window and a soft breeze moved the curtains. Elena started her journey back to the city. But now she was not the same exhausted woman. She had transformed. She felt lighter inside because now she knew how to let her mind rest. If you like the story, please give it a like and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories like this one. Thank you for staying with us. See you in the next story with new thoughts and new lessons. Until then, stay well and stay peaceful.